My fiancée said, "I'm moving in with Anthony. We're having a baby together." I replied, "Congratulations," then canceled her engagement ring, returned her car, and changed every password. 6 hours later, she was at my door, sobbing that Anthony had kicked her out. I, 36M, am writing this from my kitchen table, staring at a half-empty coffee cup and trying to process how fast your entire future can implode. It was Thursday around 2 p.m. when my phone rang. Sarah, 31F, my fiancée of 8 months, we'd been together 3 years, lived together in my house for the past year and a half. The conversation was short, brutal, and weirdly formal. "David, I need to tell you something. I'm moving in with Anthony. We're going to have a baby together. I'm picking up my things tonight." Anthony, 29M, her personal trainer. The guy she'd been working out with religiously for the past 4 months. I'd even paid for the sessions, thinking I was being supportive. My brain kind of froze for a second. The words didn't compute immediately. "Congratulations." I said it flat, emotionless, like I was confirming a dinner reservation. "That's it? That's all you have to say?" "What else is there to say? You've made your decision. I thought you'd fight for me or something. You're pregnant with another man's child and moving in with him, Sarah. There's nothing to fight for anymore." Then I hung up. The weird thing was how calm I felt, almost detached, like I was watching someone else's life implode. But under that calm, my mind was already working. First things first, the engagement ring. Called the jewelry store where I'd bought it 6 weeks ago, explained the situation. The manager was sympathetic, said they had a 60-day return policy for situations like this, minus a restocking fee. Drove there immediately, returned the ring, got back $11,000 out of the $12,000 I'd spent. Next, the car. Sarah drove a leased BMW that I'd co-signed for about 10 months ago. The payments came out of my account automatically. Logged into the leasing company's website, removed my payment method, called them directly, explained I was removing myself as guarantor effective immediately. They said she'd need to qualify on her own income or return the vehicle by the end of the month. Her personal training instructor salary wasn't going to cut it. Then I went home and started changing everything. Wi-Fi password, changed. Netflix, Disney Plus, all streaming accounts, logged out all devices, changed passwords. Home security system, changed the code. Her gym membership that I paid for, canceled. Credit card where she was an authorized user, called and removed her immediately. The whole process took maybe 3 hours. Methodical, efficient. By 5 p.m., I was sitting in my living room, everything secured, waiting to see what would happen next. 6:30 p.m., my doorbell rings. I look through the security camera. It's Sarah, crying, mascara running, holding 2 suitcases. I open the door but keep the chain on. "David, please, we need to talk. Anthony kicked me out." Why would Anthony kick out his pregnant girlfriend? It's complicated. He said he needs time to process everything. He wasn't ready for me to move in yet. The entitlement was staggering. She'd blown up our life expecting Anthony to seamlessly take over supporting her, and when that fell through, she was back at my door. That sounds like an Anthony problem, not a David problem. "You can't just cut me off like this. I can't get into any of the accounts. The car payment got declined. My gym membership is canceled." "You said you were moving in with Anthony. These are Anthony's responsibilities now. Please, just for tonight, until I figure things out." "No, Sarah. You made your choice this morning. You chose Anthony and his baby over our life together. I'm respecting that choice." Her face went from desperate to angry to panicked. "This is insane. You're punishing me for being honest with you." "I'm not punishing you. I'm accepting your decision. You wanted a different life with Anthony. Go build it, but I have nowhere to go." "You have Anthony. You have family, you have friends. Figure it out." I closed the door and turned the deadbolt. She banged on it for about 10 minutes, crying, yelling, then finally left. The silence was actually peaceful. Update 1. It's been 48 hours since Sarah's announcement, and the fallout has been predictable. Thursday night, after she left my doorstep, I got a barrage of texts from new numbers. Clearly she was borrowing phones since I'd blocked her main one. "David, please, I made a huge mistake. Anthony isn't who I thought he was. I'm staying at a motel. I can't afford this. Please just talk to me." I screenshotted them all and didn't respond. Friday morning, her sister Jessica called my work phone. David, what the hell is wrong with you? Sarah is devastated. She's practically homeless. Sarah announced she was moving in with Anthony and having his baby. I respected her decision. She made a mistake. Anthony turned out to be a complete asshole. He basically used her and threw her away. That's unfortunate, but it's not my problem to solve. She needs help. She has nowhere to go. She has family. She has friends. She has Anthony, who's the father of her child. Anthony wants nothing to do with her now. Again, not my problem. She chose him over me. You're being cruel. I'm being realistic. She ended our relationship to be with someone else. I'm not a backup plan. Hung up, blocked that number too. Friday afternoon, Sarah's mom called. That was fun. David, I'm ashamed of you. Sarah's pregnant and you threw her out like garbage. Linda, Sarah announced she was leaving me for another man and having his baby. I didn't throw her out. She left. But she changed her mind. She realized she made a mistake. She realized Anthony wasn't going to support her like I did. That's not changing her mind. That's facing consequences. She needs stability right now. She's carrying a child. Anthony's responsibility. You're heartless. I'm practical. Your daughter chose someone else. I'm respecting that choice. The best part? I found out through a mutual friend that Anthony didn't just kick Sarah out. He's apparently married. Has been the whole time. His wife found out about the affair and the pregnancy, and Anthony immediately cut all contact with Sarah to save his marriage. So Sarah didn't just lose her fiancé and her comfortable life with me. She lost her affair partner too. And she's pregnant with a married man's baby who wants nothing to do with her. The hits keep coming. Got a call from the BMW dealership today. Sarah apparently went there trying to explain the situation, hoping they'd work with her. They told her exactly what I already knew. Without a cosigner with good credit, she doesn't qualify for the lease. She has until the end of the month to return the car or face repossession. She's been posting cryptic things on social media about learning who people really are and fake love. A few mutual friends have reached out asking what happened. I tell them the simple truth. She left me for someone else. It didn't work out, and now she's dealing with the consequences. Most people get it. The ones who don't weren't really my friends anyway. Spent the weekend cleaning out the last of her stuff from the house, things she didn't grab in her rushed packing Thursday night. Boxed it all up, labeled it clearly. If she wants it, she can arrange pickup. I'm not delivering anything. The house feels different now. Quieter, but in a good way. No more walking on eggshells wondering if she's texting Anthony. No more paying for gym sessions with her trainer. No more subsidizing a lifestyle for someone who was planning to leave me for another man. Update 2. 1 week since the phone call that changed everything. The entitlement has reached new heights. Monday morning, I got a letter. Not an email, not a text. An actual certified letter from Sarah. She'd had it delivered to my workplace. The letter was 3 pages of handwritten drama about how I abandoned her in her time of need and how she never meant for things to happen this way. The kicker was the last paragraph where she demanded I pay for her hotel costs until she gets back on her feet and suggested we go to couples counseling to work through this betrayal. The betrayal. She cheated on me, got pregnant by another man, announced she was leaving me for him, and I betrayed her by not funding her life afterward. I showed it to my lawyer friend Tom over lunch. He laughed so hard he nearly choked on his sandwich. She wants you to pay her bills after she left you for another guy, and she called it your betrayal? Apparently I'm supposed to be her safety net indefinitely. Save this letter. If she escalates, this shows her mindset clearly. Tuesday, the financial reality hit her harder. Got a call from my bank. Sarah had tried to use the credit card I'd canceled. Multiple attempts at different stores. The bank flagged it as potential fraud until I explained the situation. Called the credit card company, confirmed she was no longer an authorized user, and asked them to note that any attempts to use the card were unauthorized. Wednesday brought the family intervention. Sarah's parents showed up at my house unannounced. I watched them through my security camera for a few minutes before answering. Linda, David, we need to talk. Sarah's dad, Mike, looked uncomfortable but determined. Son, Sarah made a mistake, but you can't just cut her off completely. Mike, she didn't make a mistake. She made a calculated decision to leave me for another man. The fact that it didn't work out doesn't make it my responsibility. She's pregnant. She needs support. Anthony's baby. Anthony's support, or your support, not mine. Anthony is married. He was using her. That's something she should have figured out before cheating on me with him. Look, we know she messed up, but there's no but, Mike. She chose Anthony. I'm respecting that choice. She's made adult decisions. These are adult consequences. They tried for another 20 minutes, cycling through guilt, logic, and finally threats about doing the right thing. I stayed calm, stuck to facts, and eventually they left. Thursday was when things got really pathetic. Sarah showed up at my gym, the one I still go to, not the fancy place where she met Anthony. She cornered me by the free weights. David, please just listen to me for 5 minutes. You have 3 minutes. Clock's ticking. I know I messed up. I know I hurt you, but I'm pregnant and scared and I don't know what to do. 2 minutes. Anthony lied to me about everything. He's married. He never intended to leave his wife. He just wanted to have an affair. I was so stupid. 1 minute. I miss you. I miss us. I know we can work through this if you just give me a chance. Time's up. Sarah, you didn't make a mistake. You made a choice. You chose to cheat with Anthony. You chose to get pregnant by him. You chose to leave me for him. The fact that he turned out to be exactly what everyone except you could see doesn't change any of that. But I love you. No, you love what I provided. Stability, financial security, someone to take care of you. Anthony offered excitement and adventure until reality hit. Now you want your safety net back. That's not true. You announced you were having another man's baby and moving in with him. Everything I did afterward was just accepting that reality. If Anthony had been everything you thought he was, you'd be happily setting up house with him right now. I grabbed my towel and headed for the exit. Find a new gym, Sarah. This one's mine. Got a text later that evening from Jessica. You're a heartless bastard. Sarah is sleeping in her car. My response, she chose Anthony. These are Anthony's consequences to manage. Block Jessica permanently. Final update. It's been 3 months since Sarah announced she was leaving me for Anthony. Time for the final chapter on this mess. The immediate aftermath of my last update saw Sarah's situation spiral quickly. Turns out sleeping in a BMW you can't afford while pregnant isn't sustainable. She lasted about a week before the car got repossessed. I drove by the lot where they towed it, saw it sitting there with the dealer plates back on. Her parents finally stepped up, sort of. They let her move back into her childhood bedroom, but from what I've heard through mutual friends, it's been a disaster. Sarah expected them to provide the same lifestyle I had: eating out, shopping trips, entertainment budget. Instead, she got basic room and board and lectures about responsibility. The pregnancy itself became another complication. Anthony, in his desperation to save his marriage, apparently convinced his wife that Sarah was lying about the paternity. He demanded a prenatal DNA test. Sarah agreed, probably hoping it would force him to step up. Results came back. Definitely his kid. Anthony's response wasn't to leave his wife for Sarah. It was to lawyer up and prepare for a custody fight while offering minimal child support. His wife kicked him out anyway, but he's fighting to keep Sarah from getting anything substantial. So now Sarah's facing single motherhood with a part-time job, living with her parents, and a baby daddy who treats her like a legal obligation. The best part happened about 6 weeks ago. I was at a coffee shop near my office when I spotted her across the street, very obviously pregnant now, struggling with grocery bags. For just a moment, I felt a flicker of something. Not sympathy exactly, but recognition of shared history. Then I remembered her standing in my living room, announcing she was having Anthony's baby and moving in with him. I finished my coffee and went back to work. Last week, Jessica tried one more approach through my coworker. Asked if I'd be willing to help Sarah, for old time's sake, maybe contribute to baby expenses since I used to care about her. My response was simple. Sarah chose Anthony to be her baby's father. These are Anthony's expenses. The entitlement never stops. Even now, facing the full consequences of her choices, she and her family still think I should clean up the mess she made. As for me, life is good, really good. The house is mine again. My finances are mine again. I don't have to wonder who my partner is texting or worry about funding someone else's affair. Started dating someone new last month. Michelle, a 33-year-old architect I met through friends. She's smart, independent, pays her own bills, and has never mentioned needing a personal trainer. It's refreshing to be with someone who doesn't see me as a financial plan. The revenge wasn't elaborate or dramatic. It was just letting Sarah face the natural consequences of her choices. She wanted Anthony and his baby. She got Anthony and his baby, along with everything that came with it. A married man who used her, a custody battle, single motherhood, and the collapse of the comfortable life she threw away. She gambled our relationship on Anthony being her upgrade. She lost that bet, and the house always wins. Sometimes the best revenge is just stepping aside and letting people destroy themselves. Thanks for reading Reddit. Time to close this chapter permanently.